everybody, and welcome to Comics News Today. I am Chester C. Busby there, coming to you on this Christmas Eve, and we are very, very happy to have you with us and join us in some interesting and funny news as usual. We all know that Christmas is upon us, and everyone is with family and stuff. So, all of you that are joining us, we really do appreciate it. Thank you very much. But of course, I want to tell you all about all our links down below. We have our fan speak on Facebook, and we'd really appreciate you guys going and becoming part of that. One of the things that's really exciting me is seeing how many people are starting to give more and more comments and sharing comic books and sharing ideas and reviews and art. And that's what we want to go on that Facebook page, having a community interacting with each other and sharing. And it's a lot of fun. So thank you all for doing that. We have the links to me, of course. If you want to be on the show, just come on here and say, Chester put me on the show, and I will certainly do so. This is Fanspeak after all. We also have links to the podcast as well as the donations. But before we get into the show, as always, I want to say thank you to the chat. I see Joshua in here. Thundero's over there wielding his mighty wrench. Pencil for Life, Denali, Dave is in here. Of course, Denali's sitting up here with me. And Brad as well. So thank you guys for joining me on the panel here today. I also saw Willie Mammoth in there. So if I sent him a link, if he wants to come and say hello. Haven't talked to him in a while. I like Willie, especially his Art of show. I thought that was really, really interesting. So I'll just come over here on this Christmas Eve and say hello to Pencil for Life himself. Brad, how you doing on this eve of the Christmas?
Doing good, man. Doing good.
Excellent.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Yep. Merry Christmas, and you are drinking lots of milk, so
will be soon.
That's good. Be a healthy boy. I see Gus Tyler Bush is in here. He says Merry Christmas to all, and hail Ben Riley. Okay. All right. We also, of course, are joined by the creator of Ignition himself, Todd Mulrooney. How you doing today, Todd?
Doing really good, and Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas indeed. And, of course, the Denali Lama is back and fresh and beyond his devastating disease that almost took it from us. How you doing, Denali?
Hey, guys. Aloha. Thank you for joining us, and Merry Christmas Eve. So thank you for everybody for joining us. Let's hit the news, and Chester will tell you what's up.
I shall. We shall all tell you what's up and give our opinions on all those things. And, of course, it is actually Christmas Day for me because I am in the future, of course. But here in Japan, Christmas means nothing. So basically, the Japanese all the little kids will wake up with a little present next to their head on their pillow and open it and be all excited. And then they'll forget about it all day until nighttime, where they'll have Kentucky Fried Chicken and strawberry shortcake. And of course, what they call strawberry shortcake is actually just a strawberry cake. But hey, that's it. Most of them. So strange. It's Japan. They're not a Christian country, and of course, we do know that Christmas, 95% of Christmas has nothing to do with any of that. It's a Yuletide, is what it really is. But it's not their culture. But they do love the trappings of Christmas. Before Christmas, you see a lot of illumination. You see a lot of Christmas songs, Christmas colors, Christmas decoration. They love the trapping of it. So it feels Christmassy. It's just when it comes to actual Christmas, they do nothing. So it is what it is. And Willie Reed says, Feliz Naughty Dog, yo. Okay, fine. All right, so let's go ahead and jump right into it. And we do have some, I think the news today is actually quite interesting. I was surprised there was so much of it, huh, Denali?
Yep, just before Christmas, but seems like this year's chock full of news.
It does.
I think they're probably getting it out right before Christmas tomorrow. So
that is possible, yeah. But let me jump over here. I just gave it to them. Bring it over here for the full screen for our viewers. And, of course, this is the big talk that's going on. I am hearing a little bit of my echo, so if anybody has YouTube on or something like that that's causing this echo, please try to fix that with your mics and such. But, of course, right now, Aquaman dropped. And a lot of people have been talking about it, a lot of conversation about it. And Denali, go ahead and what are they talking about here, man?
Yeah, so everybody's been talking about how much of a big joke and PR snafu Aquaman had in the past, where you think of Aquaman, you think of him as a big joke, and how the current trend in both in the comics and the movies, specifically the movies, they've been giving him a makeover to kind of show him, no, this is a cool character. So what this article is talking about is how Aquaman, the film, helped kill the myth that the character is uncool.
Hmm. Now, Denali, I know you just went and saw this film this morning, yeah?
Yeah,
So, what do you think? Did they kill the myth that Aquaman is uncool?
yeah. I mean, for the most part, they did. Uh, for me, he wasn't really Aquaman. He was Aqua Lobo,
Okay.
PG Aqua Lobo, for me. Um, but overall, I had fun with the film. And if this was Lobo underwater, I think it would even be much cooler than what they had right now. But as it was a strong first solo for Aquaman and Jason Momoa as the lead character. He has the charisma, and he has the present. He just didn't have the regalness that Aquaman has. That was missing from his portrayal.
All right. Well, that's interesting. I do know, as I say hello to Booster, who is down there instead of up here for some reason, but that's okay. You can stay over there in the chat and cause everyone consternation there. I do see Good Dog Press as well, and he says Mele Kalikimaka to you as well. The one thing I have been, well, because I haven't seen it, but the one thing I've noticed is that the critics are really divided. The fans seem to like it in general, but the critics are really divided. They're like, half of them can't hate this movie. The other half, it's a stupid fun movie. Go watch it. So they're really split on it. It's kind of interesting to me. But the movie's doing gangbusters, right?
Right. So it's having fun. Even there's a dark moment, it doesn't forget to have fun. So it's kind of like it's following the vein of Wonder Woman, where it's having fun even in the dark moments, compared to the ultra grim, I'm Batman and I have a gun and I'm shooting people.
Oh,
to
God.
Superman, I'm going to snap General Zod's head and not save people.
Yeah, no, it's so
Kind of deal.
it's that those movies just didn't understand Superman. But then again, you let a German make a Superman movie. What do you expect? But Booster says blame Super Friends for Aquaman's in lameness. Okay. Booster also says Aquaman has been cool to me since Bruce Timm's Justice League. Yeah, no, that was a good run. I'm at my mother's for Christmas. Thought it would be bad form to jump into stream. Probably, dude. Enjoy your family. But we do have a few people here with us today, and I know, Brad, you have seen the movie, so tell us your opinion.
No, okay. I have not seen the movie. My friends have seen the movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But they all liked it, though. And they're not, my friends who saw it are not hard comic book nerds, who saw it. So they just said it's a fun ride. It's a great show. Definitely go see it soon. But they have read some of the books, but, they have a little more, they don't have a hard take on the character himself from DC. So he's a softer, funnier version of Aquaman. So
Okay, so glowing endorsement. My friends saw it. Go see it soon. Thank you.
well, dude, they're a good judge.
I'm just kidding, dude. But I don't know. I mean, I'm definitely going to watch it. It just isn't out here in Japan yet. One of the things I caught from the trailer and from listening to commentary is that basically it sounds like Arthur Curry or Jason Momoa is this big dumb loafing idiot, and Mira, who I don't know who this actress is offhand, but Mira has to basically lead him around by the nose because he's such a stupid male. That's what I've gotten from all the things I've seen and read. Which doesn't mean it's not fun. I mean, we've been dealing with this for a long time, a la, Homer Simpson. I mean, is that what's happening in this film, Denali?
A little bit. I mean, there's moments where it's a push and pull kind of deal. I mean, she's more. She's like, if you ever watch The Doctor, she's Romana and he's the Doctor, where they're both strong in certain points. She's more proactive. He's more reactionary in the story until towards the end. But then the end is where culminates to being him actually being Aquaman. But it's pretty much her kind of pushing him along to do things
Yeah,
and
yeah.
saying
Which
kind
is
of deal.
is fine, right? I mean, that's what we've
Yeah,
seen for a long time.
yeah. And the actress is Amber Heard, which was Johnny Depp's ex-wife.
Wow. Thank you, Dave, for telling me that, but I don't really care at all.
Dave.
No, Dave. I thank you, Dave, but I don't care that
Oh.
it's Johnny Depp's ex-wife. Yeah. Okay, she has my sympathy, I guess. But that also tells me she's an absolutely insane wild person, because Johnny Depp is one of the darkest, crazy people in Hollywood. It's kind of like where everybody's, Brad Pitt is such a sweet guy, and Angelina Jolie is this psycho vampire goth chick, and it's like, yeah, but he married her, so do you think he's any different than her? I mean, really? But anyway, okay, it's Amanda Heard. Thank you very much, Dave and Denelli, for that information. Thundaro seemed to watch it on Friday, and he really liked it. Cool. I'm looking forward to it, man. Thundaro says he's not stupid. He just doesn't want to be there. He figures out some stuff, too. I see.
Yeah.
And Booster
Which I
doesn't seem
meant-
to like his family. Oh.
Sorry, Booster.
But oh well. What about you, Todd? Have you seen this movie yet?
I have not. And where's Booster? What's going on, Booster?
He's with his family on Christmas Eve, dude.
Oh man, all these commitments.
Yeah.
With this kid. I didn't have that many commitments as a kid.
Well, Christmas is Christmas, right? I do appreciate you guys being on here,
Alright.
for instance. It is Christmas Eve. But yeah, for me personally, I haven't seen this movie. I'm going into with zero expectation, which means I'll probably have a great time. Because I don't mind stupid popcorn films. I love them. There's nothing wrong with it. I can enjoy a film where I have to sit down and contemplate the story too. But these are fun, man. And I'm hoping it's great. I'm looking forward to it. And I hear the CGI is absolutely stunning. So, and it's a 2.5 hour movie, though. Woof. That is long.
It's very long.
It is very long. And that's one of the big complaints. A lot of the reviewers who I respect, because I've said this before, and I'm sure everybody knows this, but, the only real reviewer of a movie is yourself. But what I try to do is find a few people on the YouTubes that have, similar taste to me, and therefore I can get a little bit of an idea of it. And most of the ones that I watch and like, they are all saying the same thing. It was fun, but it was an hour too long. If this was a tight hour-and-a-half movie, it would have been awesome. That's what they are saying. So, but I'm going to check it out, and it's the only thing really going on this holiday season. Is there anything else out right now?
Yeah, there's Spider-Man.
Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh yeah, that's not a movie though.
I beg to differ, but okay.
Do you go to the cinema and watch animation in the cinema?
Yeah.
Really? I never do that.
Yeah. All right. Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I only watch proper movies in the cinema, Brad. Where's your sophistication,
Okay.
man? God.
I don't have any.
Womp womp womp.
Okay, let's move on.
Straight up, I don't have any. Yeah.
Yeah, well, no, that's cool, dude. It's cool. It sounds fun, and there's a lot of conversation. It's doing really well, so awesome.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say the thing with Spider-Man, it's just one of the directors support Antifa, and I'm like, I don't know. I want to support Spider-Man because I want to support, projects that things outside the box, but how can I actively support a director that supports Antifa?
You don't.
On the other hand.
That's the
Yeah.
answer. You don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You don't. Now, I hear it's a
Yeah.
pretty good film. Everyone's liking, but I'm not going to watch that movie. No way.
Yeah.
Not only one am I not going to support that absolute jerk. I don't care about diversity Spider-Man. I'm not interested. I don't care if it's the greatest story ever told. I don't need diversity Spider-Man. Now, Silk and some of those other things that are split off and to add characters, I have no problem with that. Although that wasn't written very well. But I just, I am biased, Joshua. You're exactly right. I'm biased. I don't support
Right.
Antifa. I am biased against Antifa. I am biased against taking my characters and changing them for no good reason when you should just create new things, which they already showed they can do. So yeah, I'm biased. Yeah, and Dave also says
Right.
Bumblebee and Mary Poppins is running. I haven't seen Bumblebee,
True.
but Bumblebee is being touted as like one of the worst movies of the year. It's really really bad, is what I'm hearing. Mary Poppins, I don't know. That's kind of like, you know, the other day, was it yesterday actually? I think I saw something on Netflix, and it was Watership Down, a 4 episode miniseries, and I was
Mhm.
like, oh my god, what have they done? Right? Because Watership Down, for I don't know if all of you have seen it, but for those of you who have, that is one of those movies you do not touch. You do not touch Watership Down, right? But they did. Now the CG took a little bit to get used to, but I did get used to it. But I have to say, they did a wonderful job. They followed the meaning and the tenor of that perfectly. So if you actually want to see a remake of something that is actually good, go check out Netflix's Watership Down. I was shocked because I checked it out simply to see how badly they mangled it, but they didn't. So
I think the breakout star in that miniseries was actually Capaldi, who was one of the characters in there.
one of the rabbits, yeah,
Yeah.
Wait,
Capaldi.
So
what? Rabbits?
Watership Down. Do you not know that?
right.
How, Todd, how do you not know this
Right.
movie, dude?
I thought it
Watership
was a
Down is
sub movie.
no. Oh my God, no.
Yeah.
Watership Down is a legendary animation. If you guys haven't seen it, go watch Watership Down. Seriously, that is a legendary, dark adult anime, and it's telling. It deals with politics in the right way. It's great. Watership Down is a stunning classic, man. And like I said, it's one of those certain movies you don't touch, right?
Right.
But Watership Down is absolutely stunning. But the remake of it, I don't think it's as good, but they did a wonderful job. They respected the source material, and I have nothing but good things to say about it. So, you know, Mary Poppins is another one of those things that I'm worried about it. You shouldn't touch it, but this is not a remake though; it is a sequel. So
Yeah. Which it's probably gonna be like Die Hard 2,
maybe
where they're just we're just doing the kids and the adults. It's like we're doing the whole same adventure again because you didn't learn the first time when you were kids.
exactly, yeah. But it might be good, right? I don't know. I haven't checked reviews on it yet because it's not something I'm really interested in seeing. But then again, the
Right.
original Mary Poppins was a great movie. I mean, think of all the incredible songs that came out of Mary Poppins. It was really good, really good. Um, but anyway, we got to move on with this. But P.S.
Right.
Melter says, I'm not giving a supporter of Antifa my money. Neither am I, sir. He also says Spider-Man looks cool, but they treat Peter Parker like a loser in the trailer. Screw that. Now I haven't seen the movie. I don't know how he gets treated. And it is cool that they are showing it's a multiverse and Peter is actually in it. I just never been
Right.
interested in that. What is it? Morales? What's his name?
Miles
Miles
Morales.
Morales.
Miles Morales. Yeah, I've never been interested in that character because he's just diversity Spider-Man to me. I don't need it. I don't need it. It's like Lady Thor. No, thank you. I don't need it. Now if they had taken Sif or they went with another female Asgardian and tried to build her up and make a character, cool, I'll read that. And yeah, Beetlejuice is another one. Don't touch Beetlejuice, right?
Beetlejuice goes to Hawaii. I'm waiting for that movie.
Oh my, that actually might be good though. Anyway, let's move on. Let's move on. I'm getting way off track
Yeah.
here.
From Deadline Hollywood, William Shatner says hashtag Me Too movement, not considering contacts.
You think?
Really? What?
No, say it isn't so. I love this
So-
article.
So
Hey, go
the
ahead, Denali.
87-year-old Shatner is criticizing Me Too movement, saying it's taking things out of context. But if you look back at things that were written and said about 20 and 30 years ago, it's a different context. And you got to judge it by that context.
Mm-hmm.
Rapes and pillage? Absolutely not. Those are crimes against humanity. But saying, would you make love with me? And the opposing party says yes or no? I can't fathom what's wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, spoken like the Kirk we know.
Yeah, I mean, come on. If you can't go up and say, "Hey, baby, you want to go shag?" I mean, what the hell? How are you going to have sex with anybody?
I mean, I'm afraid of Austin Powers. I'm
we'll end up like Japan,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's true.
low birth rates,
sexless, marriages, things like that. So
Yeah, but yeah, dude, come on now. When it comes right down to it, if you're sitting there and you're chatting up a girl, you can see in her eyes, man, within the first 10 seconds if she's down. It's really just pay attention, and if she wants to or not, and that changes the whole tenor of the conversation, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I am a bit out of practice, but I do remember the old days. Yeah, this is nonsense stuff, and of course he's right. I'm sorry, Janelle, continue.
Chester-san, no. You cannot touch me.
Hey, I always take no as no, man.
Yeah, so he's kind of like saying, "Hey, you extremists, get away from the movement because you're actually hurting it with your, activism instead of actually trying to resolve the problems of, why Me Too movement came in,
Mm-hmm.
and actually take certain things into context from what it was." And we kind of had this same discussion about where the people wanted to remove "Baby It's Cold Outside" because of some of the lyrics, when it's really, a tug and pull from the two characters, the guy and the girl, saying, "Hey,
sure.
convince."
Well, Denali, now come on. Now, he wants a tug and pull. That is what he wants. But the whole song is
more than one way.
Yeah. No, the whole song is actually from her point of view. Actually,
right.
The whole song is about her making a decision whether she's going to sleep with him or not. It's her song, not his. They're
exactly.
Just morons again.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. It's a push and pull kind of deal,
mm-hmm.
where she's trying to decide whether to stay or not because of society and norms and what people will think about it.
True. The expression you want is give and take. Tug and pull is probably not the best way to go. But
tug and pull is always the best way to go.
It is. It's true. It is true. But to be honest with you, in this article, Shatner is actually very supportive of the idea. And he thinks it's good because there are some dark sides of Hollywood that need to be exposed. So he's actually supporting the idea of Me Too as something that is real. He's just talking about all of the nonsense. It's like that silly girl that came out and some guy saved her from drowning, and she's suing him because he touched her, he raped her. It's this insanity. It's stupid, right?
Well, there's that guy. What's his name? Australian video gamer who got charged recently for hitting his wife. But yeah, I mean, there was a great video I saw about it today where if you watch and truly listen to the whole conversation that's happening, he constantly is telling her, "Hey, I'll be out in a minute. I'll be out in a minute. Leave me alone." And then she starts throwing things at him, on stream, and then is calling him out and saying things on stream to get the streamer's attention to draw it in. And and then there's some stuff that happens off camera. You don't know if something actually happened or not. And then she's like going on like, he's a woman basher, he's hit me when you can't see, blah blah blah. And so there's a whole thing about it. Like, you gotta take into context everything that's happening.
Brad, women never lie.
True. Yeah, never.
Whatever.
Never.
I do agree with P.S. Meltzer. He says the only tug we need here is the umbrella guy. Yes, we should try to get a tug on here, actually. This article just goes on, and he's having a little bit of a Twitter fighting with some people, Rainbow. I wonder if this Sue M thinks. But it's fun. Little article. You might want to go check it out. William Shatner is 87, but this dude does not shy away from a fight. He never has. I love William Shatner. Every decade that goes by, I love him more. I mean, everyone wants to talk about him on Star Trek, and he did a wonderful job on Star Trek. But actually, I loved him as Denny Crane on Boston Legal, man. He killed that. You guys watch Boston Legal?
Yeah, because you know what, that show
been
was
a
well
while.
written.
Yes, it
Written
was,
show.
dude.
And the parts that where the end where they would always have a cognac and a cigar or whatever, those were priceless moments. You know, those scenes are so well written.
hmm That show was awesome. If you haven't seen Boston Legal, go check it out. I'm sure Netflix has it, but it's just William Shatner at his best, man. Just killed it on that show. But I love William Shatner. I know he gets a bad rap here and there. He probably has been a little bit of an arrogant bastard from time to time, yeah, I like William
A
Shatner. I
lot
like
of it though was for the show.
probably,
A lot of it was for yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
because we know he and Leonard Nimoy butted heads more than once,
Oh, totally.
Yeah. Because he was in those days, he was a bit of a prima donna, but that's all right. I do like William Shatner, and I agree with him because, like I said, he's actually supporting the idea of Me Too. He's not against it at all. He's just saying that there's too
No.
much of this nonsense stuff that's not rape.
Yeah, and some of it's true is actually consensual conversation back and forth, but then someone feels about it later and like, oh, I can't be that way, or whatever. Their personal mood changes, or they've been warped by someone outside, changing their thoughts.
Well, it's kind of like
So
our upcoming most powerful hero in the Marvel superhero world, Captain Marvel, Brie Larson, and her going through the airport, and some guy thinking she's cute and asking her out, and she just being absolutely beside herself. Well, how dare he? How dare he? Right?
yeah,
It's and then we've seen this many times. It's nonsense. People
it
can
is.
ask you to go for a coffee. There's nothing wrong with that. You say no,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean it's not sexual harassment,
No.
if someone says, "Hey, I think you're cute, I'd like to go out," but because you're fat and ugly, no, it's harassment. Oh, you're rich, good looking, and millionaire, yeah. Oh, it's perfectly fine. Yeah. Sorry.
No, you're right.
Read that way too many times.
But anyway,
But Chester, don't you feel like somewhere down the line you'll reap what you sow?
Oh,
in this
totally.
whole category? Yeah, I mean, there'll be one of those situations where women go, "Geez, where'd all the men go?" Well,
it's already
you scared
happening,
them all
dude.
away.
It's already
Huh.
happening. Yeah. That whole men's right movement and MGTOW and stuff like that. I don't really agree with that being the way to solve the solution, but I also don't blame the young dudes these days. What do? Right? Yeah, you get married, you have kids, you're really risking a chance of, basically not having any kids because the woman can leave anytime she wants without any reason, and she's taking the
Yeah, with
kids,
the kids.
right?
Yeah.
Um, you're also anything you do wrong, you're going to get blamed, and you're automatically going to lose because, as we know, it's completely unfair. Women get away with murder, men can't get away with even asking a woman to go have coffee.
Dude,
I mean, that's
women
the
get away with
situation
having sex with underage kids.
all the time. Do you
In
guys realize that in that statistic,
Huh.
that 51% of all rape is men, the other 49% is women. The only difference is with the men, it's the vast, almost 100% of them are all with people over the age of 18, but with women, nearly 100% of it is with people under the age of 18. That's the only difference. Women don't get prosecuted, and you know why? Because the rape laws in the West are written as such that penetration is the crime, and a woman can't penetrate. And that's silly and stupid, I know, and I don't want to get into this political sidebar, but it is absolutely insane what's going on, and I don't blame these young dudes. I don't blame them because it's an absolutely toxic environment, and why would you want anything to do with these toxic females? I don't blame them.
Yeah, which is why I think, religion is more necessary than ever to find a spouse that you agree with.
You know, You're
But
right,
that's my
dude.
personal point of view.
No, you're right. Religion, whether you believe or not, isn't the point. Religion creates a social structure, and it is
Correct.
very useful thing. It's a very useful thing. Now, when I was younger, I kind of went through an age where I was raised a Protestant, but I went through an age where I wanted to reject it. But as I've gotten older, I've come back saying, no, no, no. Religion has a lot of useful points to it, actually, and we need to get back to it. But I mean,
Sure.
that's what I think. I know Denali would agree. I'm not sure about Todd.
We know Todd's religious.
Hot cocoa.
All right.
No, I mean, I
Moving
agree,
on.
but I mean, you know, I don't know. It's a bigger mess than that. It seems, you know.
It is bigger than
Right.
that. We are making it seem more smaller than it really is. But the problem
too
is,
It's too generalizing, and not enough to actually unpackage that topic.
oh, we could get into
We
it.
would have to-
I'd go a couple hours on the
We
topic
could.
if you'd like.
Yeah, we can. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
But let's not do it on Christmas Eve.
no, we're not going to. We're
Exactly.
going to move right quite away from it. And unfortunately,
Yeah.
this article led us right to it.
Yeah.
So let's move on. But I love William Shatner. You go, dude. And he's 87 and still cracking the whip, man. I love it. Moving over here, as Todd has said earlier, this article itself doesn't matter. It's just more that kind of tripe that we see left and right. But it
Yeah.
does let us have the conversation about Captain Marvel versus Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel.
So who is your favorite Captain Marvel? DC or Marvel? Brad?
I'm gonna have to go with DC probably. To be honest, Shazam is awesome.
He's not
I like the
Shazam,
idea of
though.
him. I know, but I like the idea of him as a kid, and then becomes Captain Marvel. So, yeah,
It's a much more intriguing story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think, Todd?
I don't like Brie Larson. Yeah.
Well, Brie Larson. You know, what are you gonna do?
Well, no, I don't like her character. I don't like her take on it.
Well, you know,
even Marvel better.
Well, that's because you're not the Brie Larson whisperer like me, and you can't understand the depth of emotion she displays at all times. Mm-hmm.
Sure. Yeah, that's it.
One of the better Shazam books that I read was written and drawn by Jerry Ordway.
Could you please stop calling him Shazam?
Well, call him whatever you want. It was called. What was the book called? I forget. Oh crap! But it was it was sort of like John Byrne came in and kind of redid Superman. Well, a couple years later, Jerry Ordway redid Shazam, and it really came out really well. It was really well done. I don't know. Did you guys ever read that?
You're not talking about the New 52 Captain Marvel with the hood and stuff, right?
Way before that.
Okay. Fine.
We're talking in the probably early, maybe late 80s, early 90s. No, probably late 80s. I have it here somewhere.
Okay. Well,
it was
but Shazam is the wizard, dude.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay.
You know, and Howard is the duck. Okay,
yes, he is. He is the duck, the duckiest of ducks.
Let me see if I can find it on my shelf and see what the title was.
Okay.
Right.
Well, go ahead and move along. I'll find it.
Denali?
Captain Marvel. And Captain Marvel was actually beating Superman for a while, which is one of the reasons why National Comics was suing the original owners of Captain Marvel because of that. You're saying it's too similar to our character, Superman.
It was.
And I'm saying, well, kids wants to. It's kind of like SpiderMan. Captain Marvel is like, you turn into the superhero. Kids connect better with that because they transform. Anybody could be Captain Marvel if they shout out Shazam, kind of deal. It's a catch and all for all the kids.
True. P.S. Milzer says, wasn't Shaq also Shazam? I'm not sure. I thought that was Sinbad.
Kazam. No, it was Kazam.
It was Kazam.
It wasn't Shazam.
Yeah, but didn't Sinbad also do a Shazam genie type movie?
we will not talk about it. We do not recall it.
Okay, fine.
Sounds
And
like a
we'll
yes
burn
to me.
whoever said that.
Yeah.
You are burned.
But actually, to be all honest with this, I understand DC changed it because they're like whatever. But it would have been much smarter on Warner Brothers' part if they had put this movie out as Captain Marvel, because it would have gone right against the Captain Marvel movie coming out from Marvel. That probably is going to be one of their lower appreciated movies. It seems so, right? And this Shazam movie looks like good old fun. They really should have done that just to simply stick it to Marvel. They should
I
have
don't know they
never changed
could.
it.
I
Why
don't think
not?
they could. It would probably be some BS attorney liability that is disrupting brand confusion and all that stuff. And you know how these big companies will spend money and they don't want to spend money on needless court things if it's not going to be on their favor.
Yeah. And the Willie man that is supporting me, he said Sinbad was Shazam. So there.
Yeah, but he wasn't like a superhero Shazam. It was
No,
like
he
some
was like a
weird,
genie. Yeah.
yeah, some weird thing. It's not even worth a mention.
It is worth a
Yeah.
mention. Sinbad is always worth
Right.
mentioning. I love Sinbad.
Right.
Anyway, but so I think that the Shazam movie will probably do better than Captain Marvel this time around.
Right.
You think? Aren't they going sort of toe to toe, like within a week or two of each other?
I'm not sure, but I definitely know I
Probably.
want to see the Shazam movie.
Do we want to create like a gentleman's bet?
A gentleman's
Who's
bet
gonna win?
Yeah.
for like yen to dollar.
Which I don't know. Like I don't know. You wear a Red Sox hat for a week or something. I don't know. Anything you come up with it, and we'll do it.
Wear a Red Sox hat for. You do
So
realize
So every Japanese person goes, "Oh, Chester, we don't see you wear that hat before. What are you doing?" And so you have to answer to everybody.
Yes, but of course that's true. I don't wear it, but you do realize I am a New Englander, so the hell with the
I
Yankees,
know.
go Red Sox, right?
Right. I was trying to come up with something, but
No.
I can't find this book. God.
Well, how about Chester has to pose in a
No, Chester has to wear a green hat.
no
I love
Oh.
green hats.
he has to wear one of those sumo outfits.
Oh,
Muwashi?
perfect.
Yeah.
Muwashi. I'm not wearing no
Oh,
Muwashi.
yeah.
You kidding me? Those things
Really?
chafe, man. They chafe. I'm not wearing that.
No, not
If
the
we
whole
leave-
thing, just a picture of it. Yeah, we have to see you with the picture of it.
I'm
people-
moving on.
All right.
All right.
Come
Well,
on.
before
If it doesn't work, you gotta have Todd do it.
right.
Right.
Before
You pick
before
the
we talk
movie
about
you think's gonna win, and I'll pick the movie I think's gonna win.
I mean, either way, we're all gonna get a laugh.
Yeah. Mhm.
So
No.
Yeah.
No.
what's wrong? Come on, man.
No.
before moving on to Ann Castler, here's a quick one from Screen Rant. Titan showrunner confirms original season 1 finale became season 2 premiere.
Huh?
So from the Teen Titans last episode, DC Titans showrunner confirms that the original season 1 finale has become season 2's premiere. So that last episode of Teen Titans that you guys watch, there's your season 2 premiere.
Well, I mean, how well, in all honesty, how did that show do? Did that get good ratings? Did a lot of people watch that?
A majority could only watch that because that was the only thing that they could watch. That
On the
was,
DC thing, yeah, but
yeah.
I don't know what the ratings thing is. I don't know. There are some people I know who liked it, but at my shop, but most people just didn't care.
Right.
They're not going to pay that fee just to have Titans. They're waiting for Young Justice.
And besides, it sounded like a complete train wreck anyway. Of just listening to the people that we know. that have been forcing themselves to watch it and ruining their livers by doing so. Um,
Yeah,
you know,
that's why I was pointing it out to those who, do a Thursday night drink review.
uh Well, you
For
also another very important point with Titans. Did you guys know if you don't like the very ugly black prostitute lady who played
You're
Firestar or
racist?
Starfire, you're a racist? Did you know that?
Oh, yeah, I'm racist.
I'm
It's fine.
racist. Just a racist guy. Goodness gracious.
we know you're
Considering
biased. No,
I
no
am
need
biased.
to shout it out.
That's right.
No need to shout it out to the world.
I'm racist, I love Asian chicks. It's fine.
Me too, dude. I love me some Asian chicks.
Oh boy. Well, you ended up marrying
Merry
one, so
I did marry one. I like me the Asian girl.
right.
They know how to
I'm
treat a
fine.
man. Hey, they know how to treat a
I'm
man,
fine.
dude. Tell you want a good wife? Go get an Asian wife because they know how to be a woman. They know how to be a wife, right? And that's not a negative. That's a positive, right? Because the one thing, no, seriously, the one thing in our culture that is really going sideways is that these harpies that keep screaming all the time, they don't understand that the most powerful, most respected thing you could ever be in your life is a mother. That's the
Mhm.
power. They don't get it, and they're missing out on it. You'll never get the respect and love and admiration that you will get as a mother ever. That's just the reality of it. The whole culture is built toward the mother. Everything we do is for the mother. What is wrong with you, damn people? And Asian women understand that,
I
right?
was watching this news clip of CNN in Thailand. They were actually asking people on the street the question, why do you think so many foreign men come here looking for women? And the foreign lady, said, because they're more feminine than we are, you know. And I was like, the reporter was just stunned. She's like, what? She's like, yeah, I mean, they want to have family, they want to have kids, they want to, be that, that way. They want to love their man. It's not the same, in the West. So,
No,
so
it's
true.
not. It's all true.
Yep.
Yeah. And it creates a wonderful balance too,
Yep.
right? Because I'm never angry at my wife. I'm always pleased and satisfied with her. So I always give her everything I have, right? Because she is the light of my life. She is my partner. She is my friend. And I'm not having to battle with her every day over the stupidest little thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
I get you.
no, it is what it
She
is, man.
wait. She wields a mighty sword.
She does, man. A woman who knows how to be a woman and a mother is incredibly powerful. They control the house, they control the social aspect of the community, which is the community. I mean, in the end, what do men do? We build the infrastructure and maintain it. That's what we do. That's our purpose, to support everything. The women are the one who build culture. That's not our job, right? And they
Mm-hmm.
just totally throwing that away, and not they can't understand the simple aspect of it, because they do not, they have ears but they do not listen, they have eyes but they do not see. This is the problem with the modern woman, and the culture is suffering greatly because of it. And one day it'll collapse, and then it'll eventually go back, because everything is cyclical. But they are causing their own destruction. This is the come in with the combat boot and going out with a silk slipper. We're in silk slipper territory right now. So, oh well. Sorry I got so deep
Mm-hmm.
there. I
You're
do
good, dude.
apologize.
Yep. Moving on.
Go ahead, dude.
Yep. So, from superhero hype, 5 reasons to be excited for the Cassidy Andor Star Wars series. So they give a list of, its darker side of the rebellion. It's more of K2SO, which, Annie Tudyk, I like him. So if
I
they
like
get
him a
him
lot. Yeah.
back on, I'm rocking on that one.
He is cool.
Han Solo's generation, which I like that era as well. If they do it right, they can go into that, and I like to see more of the rebellion. It's chock full of stories. that they should have just focused on that instead of just doing the sequel trilogy. But some, but still, I don't know how they're going to go move forward with this. Is this going to be more of diversity enforced, where they're going to give a, bad, 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 good, good, good kind of deal that they've been having, or they're going to be more thoughtful about the stories? Are they going to get a Tony Gilroy who's like, I'm going to tell a good story. I don't really care about the lore, but I care about the characters to be good story,
Hmm.
and hopefully they'll move forward with that.
I really enjoyed this movie. Rogue One was great, man. I think the only real there were maybe a couple other things I guess you could adjust, but I liked it overall. It would have been better if they had the female lead. I don't know her name, but if they had
Felicity
gotten
Jones.
Felicity Jones, yeah, if they had gotten a little bit stronger actress, I think it would have been better. But I liked the movie quite a bit, actually.
Right.
Cool.
Well, and here's the thing. I think they can only do so much because they fired the original director, Edward Gar or Garth Edward. I don't remember his name exactly, and got Tony Gilroy to finish up the movie in the midst of reshoots, quote unquote. So this continues on with, they hire Lucasfilm hires these directors to be creative, but then when they see what they're producing, they're like, isn't what we want. You got fired, and we get a veteran to actually do what we want, which it should have done in the first place.
Hmm.
And you can kind of see the disjointment, in the film, because there's different scenes and different action and different cuts that appears in the trailer but didn't appear in the movie.
That's true. We see that a lot
And
these days, though.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so I'm cautiously optimistic, but I don't know if I'll watch it behind the paywall, which is Disney Plus.
True. Yeah, but there are other ways more than one way to skin a cat, Denelli. But P.S. Melter
Which we
says,
will not.
well, we will not mention, yeah. P.S. Melter
Yeah.
says, Chester getting high tea on us. Call the NPC police. Go right ahead, man. He also says, Star Wars lost me with Force Awakens. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't. It wasn't great, but to be honest with you, I mean, just as a simple popcorn movie to sit down and watch, it was fine. I mean, we just kind of expect Star Wars to be more than a popcorn film, I think is the problem. Force Awakens was, you could watch it. I mean, and ignore the plot holes and all the other stuff. But Rogue One, I thought, was much better. Although Thundero thinks that the only good thing was in it was the Vader scene at the end, which was epic. That was epic.
That was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I liked the movie overall. It had good pacing. I thought it was pretty good. Like I said, the only thing that I really wish is they had got a better female actress. Now, I don't know who they're going to get because a lot of these young actresses are kind of crap these days because they're so entitled. But that's the only thing I'd say. But
I don't know how much you guys are a Star Wars fan, but you wonder if they're gonna resurrect and or move beyond the Rogue One movie, because I know in the Rebels TV show they introduce this concept of between worlds, where I guess a person can kind of time travel, and I wonder if he can be plucked and saved, before the whole destruction. Because at the end of the movie, spoiler alert, with Felicity Jones' character, but we don't actually see them die. We just see the cloud covering them.
oh no, everybody
Them
dies.
out to the-
Absolutely, everyone dies for sure. And I don't want
Yes,
no
yes.
time travel, resurrection, none of that other crap in my Star Wars.
But that's what I'm saying. Rebels introduced that concept already. So I'm wondering, since he has a TV show, and if he proves to be popular, if they're going to use that concept to say, "Hey, how can we tell more stories since he got killed?"
I
Well,
think Rebels introduced it, but I don't think they're gonna use it the way you think. I think they're only gonna use it for one character only, and she's not gonna be main on screen. And it's gonna be Ahsoka Tano, and that's it.
right.
I don't think they're gonna go back and retcon any of the major movies or anything like that. They're just gonna use it for her character only when they tell another story, because she'll know the outcome.
Oh, I see.
But
And I think
Right.
that conversation has become bigger because we want Mark Hamill back.
yeah,
I think that's one reason. And
Right.
P.S. Melter wants us to look at his avatar because I mentioned skin a cat. Ew. Ew.
yeah, it's you. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, PS Monster's cool.
No.
Yeah, no, he is cool.
By the way, just an
The
update.
DJ. So
Just an update.
go ahead, Rad.
Santa's in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. He's about 8 minutes out from Greenland right now.
Sweet, man. You got to watch out for those Greenlanders, though. They're a bit insane.
They can be, yeah. But I'll post the link so everybody can, check up on Santa, see where he's at.
That is the NORAD tracking.
Correct, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that they do that. Go ahead, what you were saying about the DJD show.
I was saying Merry Christmas to the DJD show because he's saying Merry Christmas to us and cheers.
Absolutely. Merry Christmas to everyone. And yeah, I really do like the way that NORAD does that. And they came out with an announcement, which I thought was funny, because as we all know, the government is shut down. But NORAD said, but we will be doing our tracking of Santa anyway. And of course, it's laughable because when that government shuts down, it literally does hardly anything. Literally, it shuts down parks. And it doesn't even have to. It's complete nonsense. You guys do realize that, right?
Oh, totally. Yeah. I mean, it shuts down its mail service. Ooh.
Yeah, but
I get less spam.
Yeah.
I get less crap mail in my mailbox. Yay!
But that government shutdown is not what the media makes it out to be. But then again, nothing is it?
Nope.
Well,
Anyway.
Actually, one of my friends are actually affected by the shutdown because his work is part of the State Department, which is affected by the government shutdown.
P.S. Melter, no.
So,
there shall be no petting here. All right, moving on. This
moving on.
is a picture of Cyborg in the new upcoming Doom Patrol, which we enjoyed the absolutely silly, goofy trailer they had the other day, which in a way you could say it was dumb, but fun dumb. We can get away with that. But let's take a look at this amazingly cheap outfit they got him in.
Well, of course, yeah, low budget, man.
Super low
And
budget.
did you see how small Cyborg was compared to all those other characters?
Yeah, he's little, yeah.
He's discount Cyborg.
Well, I guess they're portraying him as a running back. So, making him smaller, I guess you can get away with that. But
yeah, I don't know. To me, he's like, instead of 50-cent size, he's like 25-cent size. So.
Yep. It is pretty bad, but a lot of the problem with this going on here, and the reason why I'm showing this is, or the reason why Denali put it up, I'm assuming, but the reason why I think it's here is, yes, Mary Sue, actually, very good booster. A lot of websites like the Mary Sue and others have come out and said that all of the people who saw that Doom Patrol trailer and laughed at it because it was so ridiculously sad, we're basically racist because we're hating on this black actor here and specifically. No, we laughed at the entire thing. It all looked really bad. Yeah, it's not about him.
Who's the robot guy with the freaking head? He looked ugly too.
That's Robot Man. Yeah. No, it all looked bad.
Is it Robot Man?
It looked silly and lame and dumb. Yeah, but it had nothing to do with specifically the black man. But they always want to make it racist, right? Always. It always has been racism, And no, actually, out of all those costumes, his was one of the better ones. That's how sad it was. Right? Actually, I thought the Invisible Man costume looked pretty good.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Of all of them, I think his was probably the best one.
Sure. I just think it was really silly how they're always looking for the racist angle. And it's like, dude, nobody cares. It's like the gay thing, right? They're always going on about the gay thing. Dude, nobody has cared about gay since the 70s. It hasn't been controversial since the 70s. What are you on about? No one cares. You go ahead, be gay, have fun. No one cares. But they can't let it go.
Says,
right?
Oh no. This comes out of my birthday. What a crap present.
And he's going to watch it.
Happy birthday, Booster.
Yeah.
Oh, he's definitely going to watch it.
Yeah.
Him and his goat.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Booster said the same thing I did about the Mary Sue judging it as the outfit of being racist. Yeah, it's dumb, man. We don't care. Nobody cares, guys. There is
Yeah,
not
to me,
racism.
Cyborg has presence. Cyborg. He's as big as Superman and Batman.
Oh, he's
He ain't
huge.
no
Yeah,
small dude.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like they had who's that comedian guy? Short black dude starts with the Rock all the time.
Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart. Yeah, looks like Kevin Hart was hired to play the character, and not the Rock, who's standing right next to him. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
Dude, what
but
the
I don't know.
hell?
You never
Here's
know.
a-
It could be a silly, fun
It's
movie.
casting.
And here's the funny thing.
Casting is
They
not-
switched out. They switched. Sorry, they switched out Beast Boy for Cyborg for Doom Patrol.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
No, it's all ridiculous,
Wait.
man.
Wait.
Carlton from the Fresh Prince. Yeah, totally true.
Is wait a minute. Is Matt Bomer in this? The guy from Suits?
Yeah, Matt Bomer is the Invincible guy. The
And
with
Brendan
full-
Fraser is Robot Man.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's some. So two people that you know, right? You know, have done some decent things in the past. You really can't see them.
Yeah,
That's what you're telling me.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's true.
yeah.
The two people you want to
That's so
see,
weird.
you can't look at their faces. You only get to hear their voices.
Kenneth Brown is here, and he says, "Happy Festivus, guys." Well, happy
Oh yeah,
Festivus to
happy
you as well.
Festivus. Yeah.
But yeah, no, guy. I mean, who knows? The Doom Patrol could be just silly fun enough to be enjoyable. It could be good.
Could
man.
be.
I'm
It's
going to
got
check
a
it out.
decent cast.
Well, yeah, I'm more
Yeah,
interested in this than I am that stupid Titans thing.
Yeah.
Well, you knew
and,
nobody.
And the New Titans already got their season 2 premiere with the last episode.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's a good point, Booster. I mean, I don't know why they do this thing. I could say something extremely controversial right now. Maybe I should.
Do it.
Yeah. I will. I've traveled all over the world, and I literally traveled all over the world. I'm not just exaggerating that. And I have met all kind of cultures. And here's the thing: tribalism is reality. Everybody sticks to their own groups. Even in societies where they have a successful mix of cultures, like say Turkey, in Istanbul or something like that, they all stick to their little neighborhoods. And it works because, like in Indonesia, is very similar, because they all stick to the neighborhoods and they get along, and they usually interact through food, to be honest with you. So we see tribalism everywhere, and therefore you see certain levels of racism here or there, what you could call racism. But here's the reality: out of all the places I have traveled, I have never, ever, ever met any group as racist as the black, I guess we call it ghetto black people. I have never, ever, ever met that level of racism in my life. Now, I've known a lot of black people in America, and they're just normal Americans. They're fine. I'm talking about that particular group, right? The ones that jump on that Black Lives Matter banner, right? They are the most toxic, racist people I have ever seen in my life. Now, you might say that's racist for me to say that. No, it's not. It's an observation, because I've seen all kind of racism. But they are toxically bad, and that's what Mary Sue is. And these feminists, these SJWs, are equally toxic. That is what you're looking at. You're looking at raw, toxic racism. That's who these people are. So anytime they speak, ignore them, because they are hateful human beings.
Yep.
And I just gave Denali a heart attack, I'm sure.
What gets me too is they'll kill each other too.
That's a whole nother thing, dude.
Else. I know, it's stupid. Yeah.
Kenneth Brown thought for a second there, he thought my controversial comment was going to be about Brendan Fraser. Nah, man, I love Brendan Fraser. He is the man. Thundaro says Chester's raging right now. I'm not raging. I'm just telling you. It's the reality, and it's coming from experience, right? Because I've met all kind of people. I mean, I don't think there's any group of people on this planet I haven't met yet. I've even met people from the Basque region of France. I mean, that's how many international people I've met, And like I said, you see, this tribalism or soft racism, you see it everywhere. I mean, it's just human nature to separate ourselves. But when you talk about hardcore racism, I haven't seen that much of it. I haven't. Over here in Asia, I think the most hardcore racism you're going to find is between the Koreans and the Japanese, and they hate each other to an intense level. And it's funny because if you actually study their history, you know the Koreans are Japanese. Oh my God, did I say that? I'm going to get in trouble.
What?
Yeah.
I thought more like the Japanese and Chinese, but that's
No, well, they do have a bit of a mix, but
yeah.
Korea doesn't actually have a history, even though they like to tell you they do. Once again, I'm going to get in trouble for that, but not from you guys.
So much trouble, man. So
I am.
much
I'm not gonna
trouble.
turn you in, man. I'm not gonna turn you in.
Thank you. Now, this
Well,
little article right here is like a non-article. I don't even know why it's here, really. Wizard World is going back to Wizard Entertainment, which they never should have changed in the beginning. I don't know. What's this all about, dude?
so basically, they're like saying, we figure that Wizard World isn't working, so let's get back to our roots and back to when we were actually popular and signal that by changing our name back to Wizard Entertainment. Hopefully, all those fanboys who remember Wizard Entertainment say, "Hey, Wizard Entertainment is back. We want to see what this company is going to be doing," even though we already know what they're already doing.
Yeah. They should have never changed it to Wizard World anyway. Everyone knows it as Wizard Entertainment. Don't change your branding, just like a TV show should not change their theme song, right?
True.
Right.
Mhm. The homeless liberal says the biggest problem I have is with the mustache. Yeah, that's funny.
It's all about the mustache.
It is. But all right, moving on here now. I know we're going over time, but I don't care. It's Christmas Eve. I'm having fun.
Yeah.
Denali, please introduce us to this amazing article that is so insightful and changed our lives, please.
Right. Did Star Wars just confirm that Darth Vader taught Kylo Ren instead of Snoke? Well, based on the recent Star Wars comic books, they might have just conversed how Darth Vader might have taught Kylo Ren beyond the grave. Oh God, this is a headache coming on.
Todd, save us from this nonsense.
Oh, lordy. I don't know if I can. Isn't he dead?
Yep.
Is he long dead? Is this a ghost that's gonna train? I thought he just went bad. He was already trained and decided he wanted to be. He somehow. Well, I don't know. Let's find out what made him go towards the dark side. But it can't be somebody who's dead.
And even if it was the
Well-
Force ghost of Anakin Skywalker, it wouldn't do that anyway, because as we know, Anakin redeemed himself, right?
Well, talking
Well,
about
I don't think
that.
so. Yeah. So, in my opinion, with Star Wars and Darth Vader, so Darth Vader is to me a separate entity from Anakin Skywalker. Now, I know some people think they're the same person, which I think they're one person sharing two aspects. When you take on the mantle of the dark side of the Force, you can lose yourself to that dark side of the Force. So it stays with you, but you have to fight your way out of it. So I think, in my opinion, that the dark side of the Force, when he died, got stuck inside the helmet or inside the lightsaber, which, also what's her name got some vibes off when she touched the lightsaber of Anakin Skywalker and Luke. So, because that impression was left on the items, so kind of like a psychic medium type thing, where if you're Force sensitive or whatever, you can pick up on those vibes that are left by whoever the wearer was.
Okay, I get that.
So, yeah.
So
that's
what
what
Brad is. Yeah. So what?
So you're telling me Darth Vader's the helmet. That's basically what you're saying. It's
I'm saying
that's
his
the costume.
essence,
Whoever wears it.
is trapped. Part of his essence is trapped in the helmet, and you can connect through him. You know how like some psychics, they need some sort of item of the person's to contact, that entity or whatever. But I think the dark side of the Force creates a different version of Anakin than the light side does, and so there's two. Yeah, it sounds dumb. Whatever.
They both died at the same time, right? I'm hoping. I'm guessing.
No,
Yeah, no, I get
no,
the idea of multiplicity. I understand, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, I get that, but I mean, I don't know how they once you cut off, once you cut off the head,
because they've done it in the game.
Going to be able to breathe.
But they've done that in the games as well. They've done it in the comics,
They have.
So
They have.
yeah.
So unfortunately,
where they're gonna go with it.
well, they have gone with it. Just spoiler for those who are not reading the recent comics, that they introduce a dark Sith who can imbue his dark essence into Mask. And one of the things that Vader was able to find out is one of the reasons why they built the castle for Vader to open a portal, which I was talking about, to animate a wave. And we hear your little girl one, Todd.
She's jingling bells. It's very appropriate.
Yeah. Jingle bell. So they're using the dark essence as a medium, and this is the reason why Kylo Ren is using.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
I know you're still sick. I don't know. Just kiss me. Sorry.
To get you sick, Todd.
Yeah, I thought that'd be good for everybody.
Merry Christmas. Yeah, no, Merry Christmas, absolutely, and a Happy New Year as well.
Absolutely.
Sorry to interrupt, Denali. Go ahead.
Right. So one of the reasons they're giving the reason why Kylo Ren is talking to Darth Vader's mask is because he's actually learning the secrets of Darth Vader, not Anakin Skywalker, but Darth Vader. When Anakin reemerged, he got burned away. What you have left is the essence of Darth Vader trapped in the suit.
Okay.
So that's what they're saying, and that's what's been presented in the comics, which are unfortunately canon.
Yeah. Well, it's the same with the SOTOR game too, because you have to go get some stuff that Darth Revan was done, and Darth Revan's essence and stuff like that is kind of in the items. So it's not far fetched for them to do that. It makes sense because it's already happened to that universe. So that's where they're going to go with it. And I don't see there being a problem with it because it's already been established before.
Oh, no, there's no problem. I just don't care anything about Kylo Ren at all.
Well, the problem is that they established this outside the movies that most of the general public don't watch.
Yeah.
Except for the very hardcore fans. So if they introduce such a concept in the movie, you're going to have a lot of people scratching their heads and saying, what the heck?
No, I don't think so, because in the other movie, you can see him looking at the helmet while he's looking for guidance there anyways.
That's true.
So I think it's already been established. They just haven't physically shown it in the movie yet, So I think they may do that, or maybe he's meditating by the helmet and something will speak to him or whatever, But
just so you guys know, Thundaro thinks it's retarded. Thank you, Thundaro.
It's fine.
Yeah. He's also ranting on here about how they're disrespecting Luke. They especially Ryan Johnson. He just disrespected the hell out of Luke Skywalker. Yes, he did. P.S. Melders is we already read that. Merry Christmas from Argos Creation. Hello, Argos. Jordan is here. He's Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Yep. No. They have established that nonsense before. What kills me is this point that they're making. Actually, whether you agree with it or not, has been around for quite a while. What I hate is when they come up with something like a month or two ago, and then they come out and say, "Oh, what are you arguing about it for? It's established." Like with Doctor Who, having a female Doctor Who. Well, you established that the season or two before it. That is not canon just because you decided to establish it and then bring it out. That is not how things work. God. But whatever.
Christ.
Although I do suggest on YouTube right now, there's episode 1 from Star Wars Theory. And it is a fan-made Star Wars thing, and it is insanely awesome. Really, really
It
good.
is. Oh,
Yes,
it's wicked cool.
it's wicked
Is that
cool.
their first one, or is that their very first one they've done, or is it
Yeah,
I don't
the
know.
first one they've done with Darth Vader?
I don't
I
know.
think
That's
it's the first one done in this quality. That's how they produce. It's the first one.
oh,
They
it's
done with
wonderful,
Darth Vader.
wonderful, wonderful.
Oh, yeah.
That is what they should have done. Disney should have been doing is that kind of thinking. Go check out Star Wars Theory. That is badass.
I
Absolutely.
guarantee if this was the movie that they put out in the theaters, you would have everybody on this unified. This would make more money than The Force Awakens
Easy.
would have made.
Yeah, it's really, really good. But anyway, let's move away from the Star Wars because that will take up time, and we've got to go into a much happier conversation because we've had many happy conversations today. And Kevin Spacey, wonderful,
Yes.
wonderful. Now I have to say, personally, I am upset about all of it because, I mean, oh well, he's what he is. But I've always loved Kevin Spacey. He's such a killer actor. He's one of the best actors we got. But he is an absolute toxic hole. But hey. You guys ready? We're going to listen.
Yeah. We'll listen to his side of the story.
I know what you want. Oh, sure, they may have tried to separate us, but what we have is too strong. It's too powerful. I mean, after all, we shared everything, you and I. I told you my deepest, darkest secrets. I showed you exactly what people are capable of. I shocked you with my honesty, but mostly I challenged you and made you think. And you trusted me, even though you knew you shouldn't. So we're not done, no matter what anyone says. And besides, I know what you want. You want me back. Of course, some believed everything and had just been waiting with bated breath to hear me confess it all. They're just dying to have me declare that everything said is true and that I got what I deserved. Wouldn't that be easy if it was all so simple? Only you and I both know it's never that simple, not in politics and not in life. But you wouldn't believe the worst without evidence, would you? You wouldn't rush to judgments without facts,
Never.
would you?
Never.
Did you?
No.
No, not you. You're smarter than that. Anyway, all this presumption made for such an unsatisfying ending, and to think it could have been such a memorable send-off. I mean, if you and I have learned nothing else these past years, it's that in life and art, nothing should be off the table. We weren't afraid, not of what we said and not of what we did, and we're still not afraid. Because I can promise you this. If I didn't pay the price for the things we both know I did do, I'm certainly not going to pay the price for the things I didn't do. Oh, of course, they're going to say I'm being disrespectful, not playing by the rules, like I ever played by anyone's rules before. I never did, and you loved it. Anyhow, despite all the poppycock, the animosity, the headlines, the impeachment without a trial, despite everything, despite even my own death, I feel surprisingly good. And my confidence grows each day that soon enough you will know the full truth. Wait a minute. Now that I think of it, you never actually saw me die, did you? Conclusions can be so deceiving. Miss me?
Kevin.
What was that, by the way? Because I mean, I couldn't hear it. Was it like a public service announcement kind of thing?
No, it's him basically putting a middle finger up to everybody. That's wonderful.
Oh
Yeah. The whole Kevin Spacey thing, if you guys don't know, everyone must know. Uh, excuse me. He was accused of having sex with underage boys. And it just blew up from there, the Me Too movement. He's in a way, a victim of it. Now, did he have sex with underage boys? Maybe. I don't know. But he's basically sitting here declaring that you don't know the truth. No one bothered to ask me the truth, and they just try to destroy my career. But you have not seen the last of me. I shall be back because I am Kevin Spacey. I don't know. I love that dude. What do you think, Danelli?
For for a moment, I thought this was computer generated. His face looked so off, but
Hey, put some weight
yeah,
on.
he put some weight on. But yeah, that's basically what you were talking about broaching about. He's saying you don't know what's going on before you can judge me. I'm innocent before proven guilty, and I'll be back. But
Yeah,
yes, but charges has been pressed against him for indecent assault. So we will see how this story develops. Unfortunately,
yeah. Well, no, I mean, and if this has been a lie or at least a majority lie, which is certainly possible, we know how these things go. We'll see.
hmm
And by the way, Jordan, he is not a pedophile. He is a pederast. When boys are involved, we use the word pederast, not pedophile. I do apologize. I am an English teacher. But anyway. But yeah, who knows? We'll see what's happening with it. But I love just the defiance of it. We'll see what happens from it. He could be as guilty as sin for all I know. But I've always loved Kevin Spacey. He's just an incredible actor. He's one of the best we have. I mean, Kevin Spacey, Anthony Hopkins. I mean, come on. Now I've never been a big fan of hers, but what's that lady's name that has like a million Oscars? Um, what's her name? Oh, help me out, Denali. The lady that's always wins the Oscars.
Julia Roberts,
No, 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 God, no. No, the legend. I can't think of her
Meryl
name.
Streep.
Meryl Streep. Yeah. Now, I'm
yeah.
not a big fan of the kind of movies she makes, but if you watch any movie she's in, that lady is really good. She's great. I watched her do the Julia Childs, Life of Julia Childs thing. She is an amazing actress. So there's a few names that just they don't go away because they're amazing, and Kevin Spacey is one of those. Now, if he's guilty, oh well, his career's done. But I don't know. It's one of those things. What do you think, Todd, about the whole Kevin Spacey sexual allegation stuff?
Well, if it's true, it's damning, you know.
It is. Yeah.
Um, but I've spent a little time in entertainment, and it definitely, you know, if you think, I know you think it's great to come out, but 90% of Hollywood doesn't come out because it ruins the image of what type of characters they'll play.
That's true.
So there's
Yeah.
still a lot of people in Hollywood, even though it's okay to do this, they won't for fear of what where the parts will go. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Will they get them anymore?
And
Sure.
there's been a lot of cases where the actor has come out and their career has tanked, and you don't see them anymore.
hmm Well, I
For
do.
sure.
I would also point out the hypocrisy, right? Because he's accused of having sex with an underage boy, right? Like a 16, 17-year-old boy. But yet we've seen many females get accused of the same thing and hardly anything ever comes of it. Certainly not litigation, right? So the hypocrisy is really deep here, right? And what's I said, if this guy is guilty of abusing children, then hey, he deserves to get any punishment he gets. But I would say at the same time, abuse the women who do it as well, right? And we know that Hollywood has a real big problem when it comes to pedophilia. We know this. And it's funny to me how when these accounts and these accusations come out, everyone just dismisses them out of hand. And it's like, why? There's so many accusations, but yet people just
Yeah.
dismiss the pedophilia of Hollywood. But it seems to be very deeply ingrained, actually, if you take any time to research it. So we'll see how this goes. But just the defiance of the man is beautiful.
Just there's another thing that this is kind of hard to explain, but when you're dealing with this type of culture, the egos are so huge
Mm.
that it's almost like, for instance, our president who thinks he's above the law and will act above the law, whatever, and just his curt way of how he addresses allegations. I'm telling you, this is what Hollywood is like. The ego gets so huge, you almost think you're godlike, and that you're untouchable. And it's it's just it comes sort of with the territory. It's refreshing when you actually meet one that a star who's down to earth and willing to give you his time. But 90% of these people aren't like that.
No, and
They're
of
not. I
course,
mean, Keanu Reeves, stories of him on a bus and getting up for a woman, and he's like very rare out of Hollywood. Very rare.
Keanu is very rare. You're right. Yeah, and all presidents are like that, dude.
No, I know.
I do see that Gigantus is over here, and hello, Gigantus, and he's interacting with that spacey trailer we just played. And Joshua says, "No one says that, Chester." Well, Joshua, I am on a crusade to try to save and correct the English language because so many people use it incorrectly today. Like those people who don't seem to understand the difference between acceptance and tolerance, or those who don't understand the difference between compassion and sympathy. Moving on, I guess. Oh, Denali, Green Arrow.
Green Arrow will end with issue 50, only to be rebooted next year with issue 1. That whole run has been a mess.
Yeah, it is. And the funny thing is, normally wouldn't read this kind of stuff, but I've been reading a lot more things because of Brad. Brad has changed my ways. Thank you, Brad.
And Brad isn't
welcome.
here. He fell.
He fell out. Yeah, no, but I have because I've been doing those reviews with Brad, so I've been reading a lot more, things that are coming out than I had been. So it's really good. But the thing about this though is the title here says the end of Green Arrow. You're like, oh wow, are they done with it? No, they come right back with it. So once again, another article title that's just clickbait.
All right.
Mhm. I like this art though. Who is this by? I can't make
It's
that
Kevin
out.
Nolan. It's Kevin Nolan, and it's good, but they shot from his pencils. Even though he can clearly ink himself, he's inked other people, but they shot this from his pencils. I don't like it. Irks me.
Oh really?
Oh
I
yeah.
still like it though. And Jordan says that I have sympathy for you, Chester. Well, very good. I appreciate that.
I'm
But
not a big fan when this is done. It started in the I don't know late '90s, and who's the guy that does the Star Wars book? He did it on a lot of the X books. Salvador Larroca, and I hated it. Absolutely hated it. Now there are what I would call outliers. Assad Ribic has done this, where his work has been shot from his pencils, and Arthur Adams did this with what is it, Ultimate X-Men? He did like 4 or 5 issues of that, and his pencils were shot, and they were darkened, and they were, you didn't even know it. I mean, I'm sure if you looked at it, you go, no, I was inked. No, it was really done from his pencils. But there are times when they do this, where they shoot the artwork from the pencils and then have it colored, that I think it looks absolutely atrocious.
oh wow, yeah. Well, you're an artist, so your opinion is going to be more particular than mine. That's for sure. But before I get to this, which I saw at the bottom of the page, I want to talk about. I do want to mention the chat here. Thundero says language is the weapon of the Marxist filth. Well, no, twisting of language is the weapon of the Marxist filth. In truth, Tumblr writes from Jordan. Rest in peace, Tumblr. Draken said there is no difference between the two words in modern English in terms of male versus female. That's wrong. There is a difference between the type of love and attraction. Absolutely. Of course they are. Many words are misused. And the simple fact of the matter, if you have any understanding of English, you would understand that men don't get any special words. There's hardly any words in English that are actually specific to the male. Most all the specific words, gender based specific words, are for the female. See, the word
Amen,
man,
brother.
well, it's true. The word man has nothing to do with the male, it has to do with humans, right? And putting the woman or from man, because, here's another thing that'll shock the feminists. Women don't create life at all. They carry it. Men are the ones who create life. We're the ones that put the seed in that starts the reaction of life. We're the ones that through our lives, billions of little lives are made all the time. It's called sperm. So get a grip. It's unbelievable. But I mean, the use of language, it really is ridiculous what the people do these days. They're always trying to twist things. They're always trying to make these comments, but it isn't. It's more frustrating for the fact that if you actually know what you're talking about, you realize that English is a feminist focused language, and yet you're going to sit there and degrade the commonality of the word. It's oh goodness, don't even get me started. Unbelievable. Anyway, Detective Comics 1000 creator lineup announced by DC. This one looks interesting, Denali. Did I lose the
Yeah.
Denali? Oh.
No,
Let me guess. They're gonna have like 10 artists and 10 writers, and it's just gonna be a free
pretty
for all.
much. You're gonna have Jim Lee and some of the more prominent artists. You're gonna have Scott Schneider, some of the writers, the comics for Batman, writing for this big issue. Wowza! Is it going to be anything great? No.
No,
They're just
they're a complete crap show.
Well, we
Yeah.
did see that incredible killer cover for Superman 1000 from Jim Lee, and I actually watched him create that cover live. That was beautiful. I don't know about this cover. Is that a cover?
That's a
No.
Jim Lee cover. That's a Jim Lee cover right there.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I really love the Superman one though. This one looks fine. It's not as impressive though.
I don't
So,
think that's the actual cover. I think that's the lead up for it.
oh, I see. But let's see here. The story, original story written by Peter J. Tomasi and artist Doug Menk. What do you think about that, Todd?
They're the current team on it, so at least that's good. I mean, so you basically you're gonna get one official story that would have been there no matter what, and then you're gonna get a bunch of tag-alongs.
Yeah, well, look at the
Yeah.
tag along. Kevin Smith,
Steve-
Jim Lee, Brian
Steve
Michael
Epton.
Bendis,
Oh,
Alex
God.
Malev, Warren Ellis, Becky. Oh, geez, look at this list. Christopher Priest. All these people are being
Oh,
part of what?
Paul Denny. I'll probably read that one. Oh,
Denny
Denny
O'Neil.
O'Neil and Steve Epping. Oh, to his 1976 detective story. No,
How many pages is this
that's
thing
my
going to be,
accurate.
dude?
1,000.
No, but
No,
Oh,
80.
no.
that'd be
Well,
cool.
let me
Huh?
go down.
1,000 pages for the 1,000th issue.
Wow, that is cool. I don't
Well,
know.
It's going to be pretty big if they're doing all those. So
Imagine if they did something like that, though. Gave you like an omnibus for like the 1,000th issue.
That would be cool, yeah. Especially with all these guys, let them have it, man. Make it a huge old book and sell it. People would probably buy it. I mean, Christopher
Yeah.
Reese and Neil Adams together. Sounds good.
Greg Capullo.
Jeff Johns,
yeah.
Kelly Jones, yeah. Tom King. Okay. But anyway, interesting. Warren Ellis, huh?
Mhm.
He's like a public speaker about feminism and men's rights. That's
Really?
yeah. I mean, Warren Ellis. I mean, he's funny because he spoke on feminist points for such a long time, and then he noticed that these men rights guys they had points. I mean, and he went to try to support them as well, and he became the evil Nazi enemy of all things. And it's funny to me because it's like, come on, feminists, didn't you pay attention what he did for all those years before? But of course not. They have
No,
the memory of a
doesn't
goldfish.
matter.
Interesting here. And Thundaro says,
Why
that's
is
what I
Thunder
mean.
not in here?
Yeah, well,
Why
maybe
is
he's
he?
with family like Booster was.
Um,
But he says that's what I mean. They bastardize the nomenclature and common usage in order to indoctrinate, confuse, and eventually control. Of course, that's exactly what they do. Um, and Jordan says, "And my seed will make a little Jordan, poor kid." Oh, it's okay. We love you, Jordan. Draken says, pedophile and pederast come from the Greek, and it's not gendered. You're just wrong here. Well, thank you very much, Draken. Boy, slave, girl, child. Uh, there is a male gender form of man in English. It's a vermin. Where it is used. But once again, you're not talking about English, you're talking about our English predecessors. And therefore, there is a difference. I get your point, but it's not valid in this case, dude. Um, anyway, let's see here. Gigantus says, certainly glad your channel has grown. Well, thank you very much, man. We're glad it's grown too. Willie Reed says, wow, all star cast. Yeah, no, actually, I think I'm going to buy that one. Gigantus says, Spider Man Clone Saga Omnibus. When? Hmm. Draken thought Warren Ellis was dead. I'm not sure. I guess not. I know he's been in the news for the past few years a lot. Thundero says pederast is from Latin pederasta, or from Greek uh, pederastes, a lover of boys. It is an old word, but Chester is not wrong. Of course, I'm not wrong. This is what I do. I mean, come on. Anyway, uh, but I mean, I get Draken's point. He is not wrong, but this is not the English current modern form. Nevertheless. Anyway, that was something we weren't planning on talk about, but I thought it was really cool. And that's all we got to talk about today, guys.
whoa, I have a question for you.
Please.
Can I ask one question? Tell me an artist whose work you weren't, at first you're like it just didn't appeal to you, but eventually it grew on you.
Oh, there's probably many of that. Chip Zdarsky.
Oh, I can't stand his art.
That guy has
Wes
improved.
Wes Craig. Wes Craig.
Wes Craig, yeah.
Yeah.
How about Kelly Jones? In the very beginning, it was such a stark difference to go from sort of Norm Brayfogle to Kelly Jones, and then it was so different. It didn't appeal to me at first, and then it eventually grew on me. Because he always had really big thighs, and he would do these really big biceps that didn't fit like the wrist of the arm. They were always he was always taking the character and skewing it a little bit.
Yeah.
And now it's just awesome. It's just wonderful. The work he's doing right now is so like top notch. He's doing those woodcut look in a lot of the background detail. It's just amazing.
Well, yeah, no.
I think he met more of his strive during. Did he do Venom comic books in the mid 90s?
Good question. I don't know.
I think so, because I think that's where he met his strive. He was doing more of his learning, his style with Batman.
Mm-hmm.
And then he kind of solidified it when he went over to Venom, if he's thinking of for
Well,
right now he's doing a Batman miniseries.
So he did Venom the Madness issue 1 through 3. So,
well, and None of Your Business mentions Kirby, and I think a lot of people like that. Kirby, when you first see it, you're like, that's not good. And then when you take time with it, you understand it. Another one for me is Frank Miller. I didn't like his art in the beginning, but then I did. I mean, Frank Miller's a good example for me, I think. I think there's many artists. I'd say if you look at, for instance, Ethan Van Sciver's early stuff, I'm not a big fan of it, but boy, he's gotten better, a lot better.
Yeah, and one thing he was always good at was staying on model of the iconic look.
That's true.
Of any character he drew. So his faces were always top notch. So I've always said that about him, that if there's one person in this industry that can like take his style and make sure that the iconic look of a character you know, oh my God, that's Hal Jordan. Oh, that's Superman. Oh, that's Batman's chin. I mean, he does that really, really well.
Yeah.
It's almost uncanny.
Speaking of uncanny, actually, when Jim Lee first came out, I wasn't the hugest fan. Now, I think that had more to do with that 90s style of giant shoulder pads and little pouches everywhere and all that kind of stuff. I wasn't a fan of it, but I love Jim Lee now. He's just killer. But I mean, yeah, so there's another one I came to enjoy more as he grew, Jim Lee.
Rob
Right.
Liefeld. If I
Uh,
would be honest,
okay, okay.
I didn't really like Rob Liefeld early works.
Well, you couldn't draw early on.
He was pretty bad. Yeah, that is
Really
true.
Yeah.
bad. No, I mean, really bad. Dude, I don't know even how he got into comics. But I won't go there. I digress.
Hmm. Now, Draken says modern, meaning less than 100 years old, that is not recognized as separated into a new language yet. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying, but technically the modern era would be from Rome. But okay. Um, and Jordan says Chester is right. He is an English teacher. Well, thank you, Jordan. But I get what Draken's saying, guys. He's not wrong. It's just not how we would use it these days. We're taking it from the Latin, not the Greek. But that's okay. But anyway, moving on here. We are done with all our articles today. And of course, that
Well,
brings us.
I have one more.
Oh,
I
you
have
do?
one more, and I posted it in the Google Hangout.
Oh, you did? Okay. Well, let me go over here and
Yeah.
see if I can find it. This better not be porn. All right, here we go. We're gonna touch it. Oh my god! Oh my god!
There you go.
Okay. Now this will blow up eventually, guys. Just be patient for it here. This will blow up in full page in a second. Let's see. Naomi Scott on playing a whole new Jasmine for Disney's live action Aladdin.
Right.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So they're basically interviewing a British actress, Naomi Scott, who landed the coveted role of Princess Jasmine in the upcoming Guy Ritchie. You hear that, Booster? Guy Ritchie's live action
That's
remake
crazy, dude.
of the 1992 classic Aladdin. Scott, whose mother is of Indian descent and whose father is British, has found herself drawn to the dark eye, dark hair, olive skinned Jasmine as a child. Having a Disney princess that looks something like me, I think is very powerful, she says. So, this is one of the
Having
reasons
a
why she got hired.
having a princess that looks like you. Well, see, the thing is, we don't care that you're of some kind of Middle Eastern descent. That's not the issue at all. Matter of fact, it's probably the right choice, I would think. But the thing
Right.
is you don't look like a princess. You look like a commoner, which we all are commoners here. This is not a knock against commoners because that's what we are. But Princess Jasmine is a princess. She's a royal princess. You don't look like a princess. You can't change that. You know what I mean? She doesn't come off as a princess to me at all. She looks like a girl in cosplay. Why isn't this changing? Come on now. It usually
I
pops
don't know.
over. Whatever, it doesn't matter. What do you guys
It's
think? Oh, here it goes.
confusing.
There we
Yeah,
go.
so
What do you guys think? Do you think she's a good choice, or I mean, she could be great. The movie could be awesome. We don't know. Do you guys just look at her?
uh, Guy Ritchie makes questionable choices.
He does, and I like his movies, but I can't
In the
understand why
movie,
he'd be doing a musical, a Disney musical. That seems weird.
well, and here's the thing that the lead actor who's played Aladdin says, "Oh, our live action isn't a musical." Wait, what?
Huh?
Yeah, exactly. So he was talking. There was an interview recently with him, I think, with you as well, Entertainment Weekly, where he's talking about saying, "No, this movie isn't a musical." Singing, and doing Bollywood off the street kind of deal. And I'm like, but it's a Disney movie, and if it's based on what's for, you're going to do all the songs regardless. I mean, look at Beauty and the Beast, Cinderella, all the movies that's been coming out. They do all the songs, more or less.
Yeah, you would think they would. It's a
So,
musical. It's a Disney princess movie. Willie
right.
Reed says,
So,
"Who is Guy
you're going to
Ritchie?"
expect
Really?
Richie.
Obviously, he's trying to redeem his career, but I'm not sure he made the right move.
Who's Guy Ritchie? That's a. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead, Chester.
Oh no, I'm just
Like,
reading from the chat here. Gigantus says, it'll be like Jungle Book, and the musical stuff will be added post for popular demand." Maybe. Although I have to say, the Jungle Book was really beautiful movie. They did a good job with the CG. It's absolutely stunning. Draken says, Jasmine technically isn't a princess, if I remember how sultanates work, but it's been a while since I read about that. And from our perspective, we'd still consider her of that rank, even if within her. Okay, I think I get what you're saying. You're talking about the mechanics of a sultanate. Uh, okay, but I mean, she's supposed to be a Disney princess, is what I'm trying to say, I guess.
yeah, in the context of Disney. In the real context of the Sultanate, she would just be one of the children under the Sultan, and she would probably lose the status the moment she marries.
Yeah, no, I get what he's saying. I get what he's saying, but that's not the story that Disney gave us. Disney gave us her dad, her bumbling father. She's the only princess. There's no harem. They didn't add any of those kind of details. Now, Guy Ritchie's in charge. There might well be a harem. I mean, it's Guy Ritchie. Maybe that'll be good. It'll be Aladdin, the harem version. Interesting.
Yeah.
It does look bad, but I don't know. I'm going to give it a chance, though. I'm not going to judge it until I see it, but it just made me laugh.
Well, I look at the settings and this and that, and it I don't know, why isn't it a musical? Because it looks sort of like over the top, doesn't it? These guys aren't in traditional. They don't look traditional looking, period-esque.
No, and the palace looks very French, actually.
Right, so I'm thinking, why not be a musical?
I'm expecting it be Guy Ritchie-ness, where you're going to hear some contemporary pop music.
Oh, dude, there's going to be hip hop all throughout this. I guarantee it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, this is all speculation on our part, but I just say good luck to him. That's all I can say. And Will Smith is usually fun, so. But anyway, it's coming to the end of the show here. We, of course, want to mention IndieCron. There's nothing really new to talk about, so we're just going to mention IndieCron itself. And, of course, IndieCron is the sponsor of this show, and we're always supportive of Pixel Trader, as he is supportive of us. He is a member of Fanspeak, after all, and we're very happy to be working with him and all the very cool things that are coming out from IndieCron. And it's just the season. Coming in February, you're gonna, and after, you're gonna see a lot of stuff dropping. I'm kind of scared of the storm that's coming, aren't you, Danelli?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I know you back more than I do, but I do back a lot of these projects, so I'm going to be putting some money out. I know that.
Are you scared it might be too windy for you?
I'm scared it might be too much money out of my pocket, and my wife is going to come and be grumpy around me. That's what I'm scared about.
Yeah, he'll be put on timeout. Put the bear in timeout.
That's right. That's right.
Mama-san.
Well,
Mama-san, get you.
Well, Todd is trying to basically mock me because over here in Japan, women take care of the money, and he thinks that's funny.
Oh no! I mean, I think you mentioned that, but I'm not mocking that.
Oh, just mocking me. Oh, that's okay. Good enough.
Well, what I'm hoping for is it's February to see the first projects that we have backed actually coming to fruition. So that's my biggest hope.
That is true. And of course, a big one that's IndieCron that's going to be dropping here in February, of course, is Tales from Beyond the Gate, which Todd and I are both part of. And that's a great project, man. There's so much incredible art. There's so many superstars that have come on and been involved with that. The Tales from Beyond the Gate is something to keep an eye out for. But we also have other things that are going to be dropping too. So it's going to be a fun year. It's going to be a fun year for sure. But anyway, I'll just Todd, do you have anything you want to say before we get off here?
Yeah, a little bit about Tales from Beyond the Gate. That um, this is going to be a huge project. If you're looking for a book that you can sink your teeth into and get big, a lot of bang for your buck, because it's going to be, we're hoping to get to about 100 pages. I mean, if I have anything to do with it, if that's the goal, then we'll do it. Whether we got to throw in, uh, uh, fan art or whatever, we're going to give you something that's worth the value of what you pledge. So keep an eye out for it, because there's so many people involved, pro and new, up and coming talent.
Hmm.
It's
Absolutely.
it's going to be excellent.
Yeah, and Dragon says if everything works out, I'll be putting up my project in February as well. Cool. A lot of people are. February, March, April, May is going to be absolutely jam packed, and which is good and bad, right? But we'll certainly be looking at all that stuff. Our segments that we do on Indie, which have been very short lately because there's just not a lot of stuff dropping in this season, will get bigger, and we'll be talking about everything comes out. We'll try to get as many of the creators on as we can, like we always do. It's going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to it. And of course, Tales from Beyond the Gate is one of those projects, and I think it's like I said, I think it's really exciting because of the people involved. There's going to be some killer art, some really great stories. We got professionals on board, and we're also showcasing those of us unknown talent type of thing. But it's going to be a really good project, and I'm sure there's going to be many cool projects to talk about. How Denelli?
Absolutely. So it's gonna be it's gonna be wild. It's gonna be the second phase,
Yeah.
and it's and everything that's happened this year has been learning. We've learned that if you do it towards the end of the year, between November to January, you're gonna be having a very hard time fulfilling the project. You need to start your projects in February at the earliest. March, it's actually more of the sweep spot,
Hmm.
and go throughout the year, to in those 3 months intervals to hit your targets. And I feel you'll get greater success. Where
Yeah.
the more you're going to the summer, so that people are going vacation, so you may be mindful that people are going to have less spending money. So around February, March, April is your best bet. You're
Hmm.
going to have a little rough time with May, June, July because of the holidays. And then you'll spring back a little bit with August, September, October. And then again, you have that down period with
Yep.
November, December, January.
That's how it works. J Pot Studio says, "Are you looking for possible submissions to Beyond the Gate?" Yes, we are, and we have our submissions gate open. Ha ha ha! I made a pun. Our submissions are open until January 11th. So if you have a project that you're working on that is horror based and you think it's a good enough quality to send it over, all the guys involved, of course, will make it a decision on whether they're going to take it in or not. Of course, it's a submission after all. But yes, if you got that, please put it in. Just keep in mind that January 11th date is not an idea submission. It's not a layout edition. It is a finished products edition. Well, at least having your pencils done, this type of stuff, and the story finished. But yeah, definitely get that in. You can send that directly to me with the links down below. Of course, if you can get a hold of John Dillard or Todd here or any of the people involved in the project, you can. It's probably easier to go through me because I'm on here every day and my links are always available. But any one of the guys involved in the project, you can submit it and it will be given to review by all the guys that are involved. So yeah, please do that. January 11th. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, Merry Christmas to you. Enjoy your families. Enjoy your eggnog. Happy holidays. And as always, we're going to let Denali take us out.
Well, thank you for joining us. Have a very Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. join us tomorrow evening for Bugsberry Basement at 8 p.m. Eastern,
Hmm.
where we're going to talk about Guardians of the Galaxy 2, I believe.
That's right. Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Hmm.
Yep. And we'll do comics news today, as always. This Friday will be Fan Speak at 8 p.m. Eastern. And we'll have Superman on Bunny Vision Movie Night this Saturday
Bunny
at
Vision
PM.
movie night.
So make sure to join Rabbit if you haven't already. So it'll be easy to jump in and watch the show with us on that night. But as always, your perception shapes your reality, so always make it a good one.
Namaste. Later, guys.